Let's dive into the fascinating tale of the Satsuma Rebellion, where brave samurais embarked on a quest for change, venturing into a clash between tradition and modernity in Japan. Our story takes us back to a time when Japan decided to take a break from the rest of the world. They had some concerns about the behavior of Western governments who were engaging in colonialist practices. Imagine, even selling Japanese people as slaves to European countries. Shocking, right? So, Japan decided to cut off communication with the outside world for a lengthy 217 years. It was like putting up a "Do Not Disturb" sign for the nation. Fast forward to the vibrant 18th century, a period when colonialism was at its peak. Western countries, eager to expand their influence, started pressuring Japan to sign commercial agreements. Eventually, the pressure grew so intense that Japan found itself in a predicament when the American army launched an attack. They had no choice but to open their gates to the West, like a door being pushed wide open. And that's where our story truly begins, my friend. The Satsuma Rebellion unfolds as the samurais, deeply rooted in tradition, confront the winds of change blowing in from the West. They took up arms, fueled by a desire to overthrow the modern government of Japan and protect their way of life. It was a clash between old and new, honor and progress. Let's transport ourselves to a time when trade agreements were anything but fair for Japan, igniting the flames of discontent among its people against the West. These events led to the downfall of the Tokugawa Shogunate, placing the emperor in charge and heralding a period of reforms. The true turning point came during the reign of Emperor Meiji and his remarkable five-point declaration. In this momentous declaration, the emperor envisioned the creation of both naval and land forces. The monopoly on warfare previously held by the samurai was lifted, leading to significant changes. Their rights and pensions were reduced, and they were even prohibited from carrying weapons, which dealt a severe blow to their social status and pride. Naturally, their livelihoods were also affected. Enter the resilient Saigo Takamori, who would later assume leadership of the rebellion. He sought to address these pressing concerns head-on and find a solution. Such determination and resolve define his character as he steps forward to fight for the rights and well-being of the samurai. Saigo Takamori, who is celebrated as one of Japan's three heroes of innovation. He played a significant role in the transition from the former government and held influential positions as the emperor's supreme advisor and a prominent member of the government. Saigo, driven by a strong desire to restore the pride and honor of the samurai, sought a solution to the challenges they faced. In 1873, Japan approached Korea with a friendly proposition, hoping to establish good relations. However, Korea rejected this request, leaving Japanese authorities quite displeased. A plan was devised within the government to launch an attack on Korea, and Saigo took the lead in this endeavor. However, the return of Iwakura Tomomi, a powerful minister and advisor to the emperor, from his diplomatic mission across 12 European and American countries, filled him with concern. Consequently, the plan for an attack was ultimately abandoned. Undeterred, Saigo proposed a different approach. He suggested that he be sent to Korea as an extraordinary ambassador, hoping that if Korea either refused his entry or insulted him, it would provide a valid reason to initiate military action. This proposal garnered support from the majority of statesmen. However, the chancellor at the time hesitated, and ultimately, due to opposition from Iwakura Tomomi and the emperor himself, the plan did not progress any further. Eventually, Ikubo Toshimichi played a pivotal role in bridging the differences. He declared that any attack on Korea was ruled out, emphasizing the immense cost of war and the potential involvement of Western countries. Instead, He argued that the country's energy and resources should be focused on internal reforms and nation-building. After the government's decision against attacking Korea, Saigo Takamori embarks on a new path. He heads to Kagoshima, where he establishes a school. Over time, samurai from all corners of Japan are drawn to him, united in their desire to bring about change and topple the current government. Their journey begins with an audacious move on January 29, 1877. The samurai launch an attack on an army munitions depot in the Sumuda district. With determination in their hearts, they announce their intentions to travel to Tokyo and meet the emperor, aiming to liberate him from the clutches of corrupt officials. As events unfold, 2 police officers venture to Kagoshima to investigate the situation. However, their unfortunate arrest on charges of spying and an alleged assassination attempt on Saigo Takamori only further stokes the samurai's anger. In February 1877, the rebellion commences. War Minister Yamagata Aritomo urges the chancellor to take immediate action. Representatives from the government, including emissaries from the emperor himself, are dispatched to engage with the rebels. However, their efforts prove too late as the first battle erupts on February 22nd, and the government forces find themselves compelled to retreat. Even amidst the height of the crisis, Saigo insists that his intentions were not rebellious in nature. He merely seeks to travel to Tokyo to pose some questions. However, the Kumamoto government corps stands in his way, blocking his path. The city of Kumamoto stood as a crucial stronghold for the government forces, a place where the tides of victory or defeat would be decided. The siege of Kumamoto endured for 54 arduous days. Despite the devastating fire that engulfed nearly 90% of the city, it remained resilient and refused to surrender. Emperor Meiji and the chancellor recognized the urgency of the situation and dispatched reinforcements to break the siege. Their intervention compelled the rebels to retreat, engaging sporadically with the government forces until regrouping at Shiroyama. In their final stand, the samurai, once numbering 20,000 strong, found themselves diminished to a mere 5,000. Armed with nothing more than swords and slingshots, they faced a modernized government force equipped with Western weaponry, including machine guns and artillery. In a valiant battle, nearly all of the samurai perished, leaving only Saigo Takamori and around 40 loyal companions. Saigo, paying homage to the imperial court, knelt and prostrated himself before committing the act of ritual suicide, known as seppuku. This marked the poignant end of the largest rebellion, with the establishment of a new government. It is important to note that the rebels harbored no ill will towards the emperor. Their aim was solely to rid the nation of corrupt authorities. Emperor Meiji himself expressed his grief through a mournful poem dedicated to Saigo Takamori and treated the wounded rebels with kindness during his visits. The repercussions of the Samurai Rebellion weighed heavily upon Japan, and the government incurred substantial costs in suppressing it. However, this rebellion also marked the end of the samurai as a distinct social class, which had served as Japan's primary military force for centuries. Following the rebellion's conclusion, the emperor implemented compulsory military service. Furthermore, in 1889, with the approval of the new constitution, Emperor Saigo Takamori was posthumously pardoned. It is worth mentioning that Saigo's vision for Korea would later come to fruition, as it officially became a Japanese colony in 1910, near the end of the Meiji era. This chapter in Japan's history carries profound significance, encompassing sacrifice, transformation, and the emergence of a new era. Thank you for watching. If this video was helpful to you, don't forget to subscribe our channel and like the video, and please tell us what do you think about this topic. Until next time.